Hi everyone, it's Real Klein and you're watching another Supernatural review, and this is Season 7, Episode 5, Shut Up, Dr. Phil. If you're new here, I do a recap and review of every single episode of Supernatural, so let's get into it. So at first, when I was watching it, I was like, this episode's not good, it's not going to be good, it's going to end up on the worst list, and then as the episode went along, I was like, okay, this is better, and then I was actually like, this is pretty good, like, this is like a fun episode, like, I'm actually having fun watching this episode, which I feel like in Supernatural we haven't had an episode. I feel like there's a difference between episodes being funny and episodes being like fun to watch, and a lot of times they're both, but sometimes they're not. And I feel like, I don't know necessarily if this episode was like exactly funny, but it was something about it that was like fun to watch, and then it actually ended up on my top 5 list. I don't think it's gonna end up there, but it was something where it's like, oh, actually, like, I think I just went into it with a bad mindset. The way that the episode starts reminds me a little bit of the episode beforehand, and you know, I talked about my issues with that, and if you don't know what my issues are, watch that video clearly. So I think that was like what was setting me off, and I think it's also been a while since we had like a hunt like a case, like them just on a case. And so I think I was like, you know, that was like the episode before, technically it was like supposed to be a case, and I guess it was a case. So I think I was like taken back from that we're getting another case again. Like, it doesn't feel like all these other episodes, because we've had so many serialized episodes. Like the end of season 6 was so serialized, and the first few episodes of season 7 were still like very, very serialized, even if they were a little bit more episodic. So now we have 2 back-to-back episodic episodes, and the last episodic episode was just so bad, it felt like it shouldn't have existed. I feel like this one was okay, it was fine, it existed. Yeah, so I think that's why maybe I went into it with the wrong mindset, and I think it does take a little bit for it to become a fun episode, because at first you're trying to figure out what's happening, you're a little bit confused. And I have to say, like, so you know, there were scenes of people dying, there was, you know, scenes where someone almost died, like things like that, but those scenes that we see a lot in Supernatural, where it's like someone dies because it's the case, whatever, like usually I'm like fine with, like I'm okay with, but these actually like were kind of really gross for me, and like I had to turn away. And I don't know, like that's so weird, because like that I don't usually have that when I'm watching these like supernatural deaths. And I think, you know, these deaths, and you know, they're a little bit out there, a little bit more because of, like, it was a witch and like the things they did. But yeah, it was kind of like in my bones a little bit. So I don't know if Supernatural is now going to try to go back down their like more horror like things, and they were trying to do elements of that. I don't know. So it ended up being 2 witches, and you know, who are fighting, and I feel like we've seen witches before, but we haven't seen this where it's like 2 witches and like the divorce thing. And I feel like whatever writer came up with this idea, and it's kind of funny because it's like they're in the middle, and in the end, like you know, it's especially when we had 2 episodes ago with the thing where like Dean wouldn't let that monster go. Like, Dean let them go, like they let them go in the end, because I think maybe they knew they couldn't stop them, so but just stop them from killing people, I guess. But it still was like they let them go, and it still is like kind of a little bit shocking. And of course the witches didn't let them go, so that's why that guy came back. And but then and they were but it was fine and stuff. And I think they also kind of had the ending in that way where they wanted them to have that Leviathan, because I can't remember the next episode they're like trying to figure out what to do, like how do they kill Leviathans. I feel like that could be the next episode. I feel like that makes sense. I think they wanted to know, I think they knew they wanted to do that for the next episode, because these 2 episodes are episodic. Let's do another serialized episode, because I feel like it's a little bit more serialized. So they kind of had an ending in this way, and they kind of something where I guess it made sense. I don't know, but yeah, I think a writer came up with this idea, and then these 2 witches, or yeah, I don't know what you call them, witches. Yeah, they're from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and so I don't know if it's something where they were like looking for both of them, or they casted one, and then they were like, oh my god, this other guy's or other person's available, what if we cast the other one? I don't know. Also the guy, like I'm forgetting the actors' names. I never watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Heads up, sorry guys. But the male actor, he was also in Smallville for a little bit. Him and Jensen didn't cross paths though. I think also there's other times within the Supernatural series where there's other Buffy the Vampire Slayer actors, so it's kind of fun. And so yeah, I feel like this episode kind of became a little bit more fun as the episode went along, as I said. And I'm trying to think, like I feel like there's a good chance maybe I've watched this episode once more before, rewatch it, so this is probably my third time. I feel like there's a good chance this is not my fourth time watching it, and if you said this is only my second time watching this episode, I wouldn't be that surprised. But I feel like because this episode is probably ranked as one of the higher episodes in season 7, not saying it's the top 5, because again, I don't think it's going to end up in the top 5 list, and because of the kind of the nature of this episode, I'm sure that I've rewatched it at some point. I just can't really recall. So yeah, anyway, that's my review. I feel like it's a step up from last episode, but again, like, I don't know if I were to rewatch this episode if I would still feel the same way about the beginning. I feel like I would. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes episodes first half could be better than the second half, and the second half could be better than the first half, and that's just kind of what happened here. And but I think in the end, like, it was okay, and I'm hopeful that there's more funny or fun episodes coming up. But I'm gonna end here, so thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and bye.